Yevgeny Prigozhin, the chief of the Wagner Group, has surrendered and agreed to withdraw troops after a deal was brokered by Belarus. Putin has agreed to not convict any Wagner troop soldiers, and charges against Yevgeny Prigozhin have been dropped as he agreed to leave Russia. This all happened after events that occurred earlier this week. To understand this, we will have to rewind back a few days. We have an unbelievable story that could change the course of history. In a stunning turn of events, Russia is on the brink of a new era, as a coup attempt threatens to dismantle the Putin regime. Yevgeny Prigozhin, the leader of the notorious Wagner mercenary group, has sparked a major confrontation with the Russian military. Prigozhin claims that his troops have taken control of military facilities in 2 Russian cities, and they are ready to go all the way against their own country's armed forces. In a series of daring social media posts, Prigozhin openly accuses Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and Russia's top general Valery Gerasimov of incompetence and neglecting his forces. He even goes as far as calling for armed rebellion against Moscow's military leadership. The Russian security service, FSB, reacts swiftly, opening a criminal case against Prigozhin, accusing him of inciting an armed civil conflict and betraying Russian servicemen. The Kremlin is taking this threat seriously, with President Vladimir Putin informed and necessary measures being taken. But the story doesn't end there. President Putin vows to crush the armed insurrection led by Yevgeny Prigozhin, describing it as a treasonous stab in the back. This is the first coup attempt Russia has faced in 3 decades. Vladimir Putin also has declared martial law in response to Prigozhin's threats and has promised amnesty to Wagner fighters if they disarm, but they need to act fast. Reports suggest that Russian military helicopters have already engaged the Wagner troops, firing on their convoy as they make their way towards Moscow. The situation is tense as the insurgency rapidly advances, threatening Putin's more than 2-decade-long rule. The international community is on high alert. The G7 nations held an emergency call to address this unprecedented threat. Meanwhile, NATO countries neighboring Russia are enhancing their security measures, aware of Russia's massive nuclear arsenal. The crisis in Russia provides a window of opportunity for Ukraine, which has been seeking to push ahead with a counter-offensive to liberate its occupied territories. The decision to invade Ukraine triggered this escalating situation, leading to what many believe is the inevitable degradation of the Russian state. In a grave address, President Putin declares that he will use decisive measures to crush the coup attempt. He denounces the actions of the Wagner paramilitary group as treason and betrayal. However, Yevgeny Prigozhin is not backing down. Prigozhin, in a defiant response, claims that his Wagner force is fighting against corruption, lies, and bureaucracy. He insists they are patriots fighting for their motherland. This clash between the president and his former acolyte sets the stage for a dramatic showdown. Russia's Foreign Intelligence Service joins the fray, condemning Prigozhin's uprising as an attempt to shake society and incite a civil war. They call upon citizens to rally around President Putin in this time of crisis. Prigozhin's audacity reaches new heights as he walks into the Rostov military headquarters and confronts Deputy Defense Minister Yunusbek Yevkurov and senior generals. He demands the removal of Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and Valery Gerasimov, accusing them of mishandling the Ukraine invasion. With tensions escalating and accusations flying, the streets of Russia become the battleground between those loyal to Putin and those rallying behind Prigozhin. This clash threatens to tear the country apart. Hold on tight, folks, because history is unfolding before our eyes. The fall of the Putin regime and the future of Russia hang in the balance. Will President Putin's decisive measures be enough to quell the insurgency led by Yevgeny Prigozhin? Stay tuned as we bring you the latest updates on this gripping and fast-paced story.